Hello everyone, so in today's video we are going to cover something called props in React. So props just simply means for properties, and like we do use props in order to send data from one component to another component. In other words, we do use props in order to send the data from the parent component to the children component. So let us actually take a real life scenario for this, and let us imagine this for a while. So like imagine that we are building a social media application where user can create their profiles and upload their profile pictures. So like we do have a component that is the user profile component, and that is being used for users profile page that would contain the username, their email, the bio and the profile picture. And we do have another component, and that is user avatar component, and this is being responsible for displaying the user's profile picture. Now, let us say that we have a new user, we have a new user whose name is John that has created a profile in our application. And whenever once John's profile is being displayed, the user profile component fetches this data, and that is our parent component, including his username, email, bio, and the URL of the profile picture. And now this data is being sent to the children component, and that is the the user profile component. Passes this data to the children component, and that is the user avatar component. And we would be, by the way, we would only just passing the URL because we only need the profile picture. So like the user profile component would be passing the URL to the user avatar in order to use the profile picture of the user. So this is the way we do use props in React, and we are passing the data from parent component to the children component. So let us actually run through the code so we can have a more better understanding. So in this case we would be needing this one, so just simply copy this one. Now we can just simply go with React functional component, and this is our parent component, by the way. Let us actually work on the child component first. So this is our child component, and that is the user avatar. Now let us import this child component over here, that is the user avatar, and let us just simply copy this one. And yeah, so like we need to pass the data. By the way, we would only be needing the URL, I mean the profile picture for that user. So let us first actually uh, copy the entire details of the user that we do have, that is the username, the email, the URL and the bio. Now over here, we want to, we need the user, that is the user avatar, and in this we would be passing something called URL. And in this case, let's suppose I just want to pass the username as well. But before we move forward, as I've said that we are working with React, and in React we can only return one parent element at a time, so we can wrap this up in fragments. And by the way, instead of using div over here, let us use something called h1 tag. And now let's pass main data that we want to pass. So in this case I just want to pass the username, that is user dot username, and I also want to pass the URL, and that is the user dot URL. By the way, we only need this URL. We just want to display the profile picture, but in this case I just wanna pass this username as well. Let us actually write one more thing over here, that is the parent component, in order to have a more better understanding in our output. And let us also write something as username over here in the parent component, and that is user dot username. And with that, now let us work on the children component. So in this we would be receiving something called props, and as we said that we only need this URL, so in this case we are passing something called URL from this user data. So how props works is, firstly we need to wrap this up in the main parent component, or like fragments, whatever you want to say. And now here like over here we need the profile I mean the profile image, that is the URL in this case. So let us have a p tag over here, and we can just simply say props dot url, and let us make this one much better. We can use something called h1. Now we can have something called h2 as a child component, and I think we can go with that. So let us compile this and check. Yeah, we are getting something as output. So we are getting the user profile parent component. Actually, let us center this one, and I do have, we have some styling that comes with React by default, but I don't know like it would be good to go or not. So let us just simply copy this over here, and if class name is equal to app header, I forgot the a. So now let us see. So like we are getting the user profile over here, that is our parent component, and we have displayed the output as username in the parent component, so we are getting John. But then after we have user avatar, and this is our children component, so you can see it's a child component, and in this we are getting the profile picture of the user. So I can let you know guys, so like firstly go through this one. So we have something called user profile, then we have parent component, then we have the username. So you can see this output over here. Now we can go with the children component. So in this case we have something called user avatar child component, and then after we have url, that is props dot url, that is, we can also write profile pic by the way. So let us save this one, and we are getting profile pic over here, and that's how props works in React.